going on, YouTube? Gentry 101 back with another video. We're going to be installing the Spoolperformance Stage 3 Plus bucketless dual wall burrow fuel pump. That is a freaking mouthful. I have disconnected the negative battery cable to ensure that we're not going to have fuel pump activation while working on this. Remove the rear seat, which simply lifts. And now I'm going to take a 10mm, and I brought a freaking 8mm with me, go figure. 10mm. There's going to be 4 of these. For anybody that tries to tell you any elaborate story about where this is located, there is a dot literally on the front of the cover. That means forward. Okay, we are going to remove the electrical connectors, which are just 2 squeeze style clips. Get this vent line off, maybe, and out of the way. And now for the fun fuel line. So on the 135s, I find this to be a little bit tighter than on the E90X body style. Something about the clearance between the actual tank, the body, and this fuel line. But we're going to squeeze both sides and wiggle off, and it's already starting to get stuck here. So I'm kind of finagle this off, cross our fingers it doesn't break. Otherwise we got to replace this fuel line. Okay, good, it didn't break. Now I'm going to go get the special tool, set it on here, which is 1/2 inch driven, and rotate this off. There we go. That might bite. Oh yeah. You do want to, it's best to do this with 1/2 tank of, or excuse me, 1/4 tank of fuel or less to try and help prevent on spillage. I am not. I'm at 1/2 tank, so this could be a lot worse, right? It could it could be 3/4 of a tank or a full tank, like I've seen some people do this before, which is comical. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is the PETA chip. Just joking, the PETA clip that everybody always talks about. Pop out, unless it's going to be a PETA clip. Yep, it's going to be a PETA clip. Alright, so the PETA clip, or pain in the apple clip, is now off of here. And now we can disconnect our actual connectors here. Get our crossover tube off the pump. Disconnect our fuel line, if I can get my hand on this stinking thing. Should be noted too, you should always do this wearing safety glasses, like I'm not doing right now, but you should definitely do that if you plan on doing this on your own. It's the smart, wise thing to do. For that exact reason right there. All fun and games till you put an eye out. So this is going to go into the factory top hat. These are going to be our boost reference power and ground for the secondary fuel pump. This will go underneath, well, I guess not underneath that seat, but in between that seat and the back of the back seat, the backrest. And then it comes with this really well put together harness. So here's our Hobbs switch, and then the relay and the power and ground for that. And then here, this is going to go into here, like so, and then go right up inside of there. So we'll have to drill 2 holes, one on either side here, one for power, one for ground, and we'll have to drill them in such a manner that we'll still be able to tighten and loosen these, so we don't want to go too close to our connector there, or too close over to the center section. 9/64 is going to be the size that I'm going to want to use. Yeah, so I'm gonna be 100% honest here. I literally had to take this fuel pump out 3 separate times. I don't know what in the world it was, but apparently all 3 of the fuel lines that I had tried and thought that I had connected all the way, you know, apparently there's more than just one click. So this has been pretty entertaining so far. I am gonna get onto the wiring now. I did want to do a start, and I'm glad I did do a start before I finished up on the wiring. Otherwise I'd have been like freaking out, you know, what did I do wrong? But yeah, so I'm gonna finish this up now. Welcome back. We have the Spoolperformance Stage 3 fuel pump installed. It was a little tight, a little tricky. Started getting a little bit late. It's now daytime, obviously. So what I'm going to do is show you how the Hobbs switch and electrical is ran and how nice this setup really is, and saving yourself from having to essentially run a Hobbs switch and a whole bunch of electrical connectors either underneath the vehicle or through the vehicle. So here is obviously our blow-off valve. We've got our vacuum line that goes down to the intake manifold. And normally what you do is you have this part of the vacuum line actually goes right here onto the brake booster line. And then that vacuum line actually runs, you know, is pre-plumbed through the vehicle back here. All right. And then this goes into a actuator that opens and closes your exhaust flap. So what we did is cut a slice right there, get a little bit of a section cut off, and then put a T in there, a supplied T, and then a supplied fitting with the Hobbs switch. And then our electrical connections will be ran a lot better looking than this. I promise this childish stuff isn't going to stay here. But we have our power, we have our ground. There is a fuse, a relay, and then this goes and runs underneath the vehicle, or not underneath the vehicle, but underneath the seat here, plugs in, and then goes into, there's our pick, goes into our connections for the fuel pump. And it really is just that simple.